Grounded 2's launch was absolutely hype, but it quickly siphoned off. In the modern age, people just aren't spending as long on one game, with so many others taking their time. And with the initial chapter 1 of Grounded 2 cut somewhat exhausting content pretty quickly, with no repeatable mixers, not much else to do other than base build and gather resources if you'd already completed and done the majority of stuff. So of course, that's when the next update comes in. We had Axel to tide us over and it was fun adding new armour, but we're definitely in the doldrums right now, where that big quiet period that we're going to experience probably more and more with Grounded 2's development, as devs have said they're going to take longer to make their updates, but the updates should be bigger. Genuinely, this period right now between now and the winter update could be Grounded 2's worst in terms of content, hype and just something to actually play. With the winter update, we know, or so far we know, we're going to be getting playgrounds added back. And while not everyone jumped onto that with Grounded 1, I still think it means there's something for us to get our hands into, especially during early access now, as opposed to having it added literally a year later after the full release. I'm predicting pretty confidently that there'll be a lot more uptake in people playing playgrounds, which is creatively making maps out of Grounded 2, whether it be parkour, challenges, adventure maps, you name it. There were some really good ones added with Grounded 1, not to mention a certain Only Down map made by moi. Anywho, that's not coming to the winter update, and we don't know when the winter update is going to arrive. Simple truth is, as much as I've been predicting December, just literally as winter approaches, likelihood is it could be afterwards in January or February still. So you get my point. There's not much going on in Grounded now, so the only thing I can really offer you guys is thinking and talking about what is coming, especially with still some of the data that we got from the leaked builds of Grounded 2's launch. So I'll be diving into each one of the roadmap's topics individually, and today we're going to be taking a look at Cozy. Unlike a lot of the other systems, it's not labelled Cozy 2.0, so maybe my expectations are probably a bit too much, but I figure it's still worth going over some of the unlocks and showing you at the end of the video some of the stuff that's already been leaked. Pretty much 3 years ago, we were starting to get information about coziness being added to the game properly. At the time, it wasn't confirmed, but we'd seen enough from some more leaks showing a coziness meter, and that transferred into the full system, where you unlock new gear by making your base more comfortable and you'd get more furniture items. I'm rehashing this a bit for maybe players that didn't play Grounded 1, but yes, the more that you decorated your base, the more that it increased the coziness meter, and at each level you got new unlocks. Not only decoration pieces, but some building pieces as well, like special types of crow awning, as well as clover awnings and pinecone roof pieces. There were also emotes, as well as a mutation that you can unlock, which meant that you could carry more, and some other buffs that increased, or decreased I should say, the use for food, water, and giving you some health back while you're at base. So, pinecone pieces have been in Grounded 2 in creative mode all along, but everyone's been crying, why aren't they in the game? We clearly see the pinecones in the starter areas too. Well, obviously they were waiting to maybe redesign the coziness system. Perhaps they're still going to go with the same and tried and trusted. I'm kind of hoping they do mix it up a bit. The safe bet probably is it's going to be the same system, unlocking new furniture by making your base nicer. I'm not really asking for the cozy system to become some OP buff or anything, but just to add a little bit more gameplay to it to make it a bit more interesting and something to do. Perhaps it's right to get them kind of buffs where it does just help with your food, water and health while you're at base. But there are some clues already in stuff that you might have already placed down, like the scorpion bed. Now you've always got better kind of buffs from sleeping in better beds, but of course we don't have the bunk beds in the game still currently other than creative, but we do have the scorpion bed which gives a defense buff for the whole day if you sleep in it. You also get a buff to your stamina energy levels as well, so these are kind of covered, and I've been thinking and racking my brains what else we can have something new with Cozy. I mean, I love the idea of simply just getting recipes to unlock, and that will certainly give players some more reason to care about their bases, especially me, as I often don't bother. I just live pretty much in the out and the open. Some more decor is never going to go amiss. I guess if it keeps giving new decor pieces like we saw with the Axel update, getting more of this kind of pine stuff, maybe unlocking even more options for build pieces like we got with the awnings, and I'm guessing adding back crow roos this time. Also, a big part of the new update will be also mushrooms getting a revamp as well. So we don't know what that consists of. Is that going to be a new look for the mushroom bricks, new styles, hopefully something different? So Cozy is coming back for sure. We're predicting we'll definitely get some sort of bonuses and buffs and plenty new furniture and build pieces that we'll have to earn by making our homes a bit more nice. But I am kind of hoping we also get to find furniture pieces, maybe recipes for them, special stuff. That would give players something else to do, specific unique pieces of furniture that would maybe give us individual buffs, and then that would be scattered around the playable areas. Grounded 2's done a good job with the secret weapons and stuff, but it would be nice to have just a little bit more to go and hunt down and look for. And now we've got buggies, you're probably not going to see the hauling mutation come back. Or maybe, I guess, but is it going to work with your buggies? Is there really a need for it now that we can put more on our buggies, even though it's quite light at the moment with only 12 pieces on the Ant Soldier? Or are the devs looking at a lot of the feedback that says you definitely still want to be able to carry more yourself rather than just rely on the buggies? Going over my old video though, it's clear that a lot of the decorations we've got right now were locked behind certain levels, so maybe some of that will be retroactively done, that we'll have to actually get our base back up to scratch before we can then go ahead and place any other new furniture. These are all the things we've got to consider. So that's pretty much it for people that don't really want spoilers, but I am going to dive into what we did find in some of the early dev worlds now, talking about decoration pieces and maybe what they could do. So I kind of talked about maybe individual buffs for unique furniture pieces. We kind of have that with the gong. You hit it and you get a special little buff when you're defending your base. So I think these could be better additions to Grounded 2 for players that don't want to make their base cozy but do want the buffs of certain items. What you're looking at here is something I've shown off in a bunch of other League videos. It's one of the dev worlds that was available early on in Grounded's life before it got updated and patched out, and if you had the right kind of software. And it's including a bunch of stuff we've seen before in creative mode, like the fireworks, and older stuff like the Broodmother chair and decorations, probably to test out lighting and how everything looks. So it's a good bet that anything you see here that we currently don't have is probably coming back, especially like the dividers. I don't think we've got all of them. Maybe they'll actually give the basketball its proper physics, because I think at the moment it doesn't work correctly. And of course, lots of more pine furniture and maybe more little statues and stuff. Something super exciting is this though, a record player. It's probably been one of the biggest requested features I've seen, that players want some way to play some of the Grounded tracks, especially if you could play Grounded 1 songs as well. I would be amazed if they add this and it doesn't have the ability to choose certain songs. If it ends up being only just like one song that it plays, I think that would really suck. The devs know people want this. It's often one of the most asked questions that they get in some of their dev streams. So if they were smart people, they would for sure have this as something we could actually get and use to play music properly in Grounded 2. I kind of like the look and design. Again, it may be a scrapped idea, it may be changed. There's no guarantees, but I do like the look of it. Also, we've got the pupa stuff as well, and I'm guessing that's all going to be coming back alongside some of the training dummy armour as well. Little tease here of another style rug. Obviously we've got the wolf spider one. Was this the original, or is this hinting at another spider rug that's coming in the future? So that's kind of where we're at the moment. We know lots of this stuff's going to have decoration unlocks. We know it's going to offer buffs, but it's got to do something a bit different or offer more unique pieces like the gongs, like the hot tub that we had from Grounded 1, in my opinion at least. Also, what's going to happen if we do get a pine chest, since at the moment it's pretty much exactly the same as the chest that you get from killing Axel in terms of the amount of items you've got in it. Are we going to get this back? Seems like it'd be a lot quicker just to get one of these than take on Axel, given how many of Axel's parts you need to craft it. You guys tell me, what do you think they could do different with Cozy to make it a bit more interesting or longer lasting? Do you like the idea of searching out recipes for unique pieces, or would you still just prefer that you just unlock everything? Also, guessing we could probably get a whole bunch of more new emotes. But yeah, something to think about and hopefully keep you somewhat interested still in Grounded 2 while we go through this little drought of content. Until next time, Ratbags, look out for more videos incoming from me looking at the winter update, and obviously as soon as I get news about a release date, I'll let you guys know.